NAHDA fills the void in Genshin Impact, which desperately requires a good off-field Dendro enabler. Just like a typical Archon, she has a 100% uptime on her elemental skill. This pattern is also available for Zhongli, who can shield permanently, and Raiden Shogun, who can buff elemental burst DMG throughout the combat duration. As long as players ensure that surrounded enemies are affected by her Seed of Skandha, NAHDA will keep following any elemental reactions or bloom DMG with a Dendro DMG, creating an endless chain of numbers. For this to occur, it's crucial to pair Nahida with her best Genshin Impact team composition. Nahida plus Nailu plus Dendro MC plus Sanganamiya Kokomi. Previously, Nailu was stuck with Dendro MC and Kale as her two Dendro enablers. Now, thanks to Nahida's availability, players can use either Dendro MC or Kale while bringing Nahida as the second Dendro. Nahida's Seed of Skandha will trigger when enemies take Bloom DMG, so travelers don't have to worry about triggering other elemental reactions. If players don't have Kokomi, then they can go for the budget healer, Barbara. Meanwhile, Dendro MC can be replaced with Kale. Team role: Nahida, Sub-DPS, Dendro Enabler, Buffer. Nailu, Support, Buffer, Hydro Enabler. Dendro MC, Sub-DPS, Dendro Enabler, Debuffer. Sanganamiya Kokomi, Healer, Hydro Enabler. Nahida plus Sino plus Beidou plus Zhongli. Sino basically suffers without elemental reactions. Players must play him in either an electro-charged or a quickened team, otherwise his team comps will be painfully underwhelming. When it comes to the quickened team, it can be tough to choose the Dendro character he should be paired with, since each of them has their own weaknesses. Kale is great at Dendro enabling, but her burst is small and only lasts for a few seconds. Luckily, her Sprout effect allows Sino to trigger quicken even after her burst, and skill her over. Meanwhile, Dendro MC has a better AoE and duration, but players will lose all the Dendro applications after the MC's burst ends. As for Nahida, she doesn't suffer from a lack of AoE or duration, but she has to take the field each time a new wave of enemies appears. Considering how selfish Sino is, this makes Nahida a poor choice against smaller enemies. Team role: Nahida, Sub-DPS, Buffer. Sino, main DPS. Beidou, Sub-DPS, Shielder, Debuffer on C6, Buffer. Zhongli, Support, Shielder, Debuffer, Buffer. Nahida plus Raiden Shogun plus Xiangling plus Xingqiu. Raiden Shogun, Xiangling, and Xingqiu are a part of the rational team comp. Usually, Bennett takes the fourth spot as the final character, but this time, Nahida will join the team to create an endless chain of reactions. Which reaction this team triggers depends on the sequence travelers are playing the characters. The combination of Xiangling, Raiden Shogun, and Xingqiu alone is immensely powerful, and Nahida's high and constant off-field damage will surely bring more value. However, note that this team is now lacking protection with only Xingqiu to rely on. Team roles: Nahida, Sub-DPS, Buffer. Raiden Shogun, Sub-DPS, Buffer, Battery. Xiangling, Sub-DPS. Xingqiu, Sub-DPS, Buffer. Nahida plus Childa plus Beidou plus Kazuha. Childa and Kazuha are so underrated together while they're one of the best pairs in Genshin Impact. But when it comes to Childa and Beidou, they're actually well known to be great together. Now add Nahida to that mixture of electro-charged and swirling, and players will get hyperbloom reactions to perfect that team comp. Team roles: Nahida, Sub-DPS, Buffer, Debuffer. Childa, main DPS, Hydro Enabler. Beidou, Sub-DPS, Buffer. Kazuha, Sub-DPS, Buffer, Debuffer. Nahida plus Zhongli plus Ganyu plus Xiangling or Bennett. The idea behind this team is to create continuous instances of Pyro for Ganyu to easily trigger Reverse Melt DMG. The combination of Nahida's skill and Xiangling's Pyro sets the field to create endless burning reactions on enemies as long as players can continuously trigger Nahida's elemental skill. Here's how it works. First, Nahida will apply Dendro to the enemy, then Xiangling will cause burning to occur. Now, Ganyu has to hit the enemies with her Frost Flake arrows to trigger Melt. Due to how Reverse Melt works, Ganyu's Cryo will not remove Xiangling's Pyro. Instead, when elemental reaction occurs on marked enemies, Nahida's Dendro will trigger and react with the attached Pyro, restarting the burning effect. Theoretically, this system can be maintained as long as players didn't get interrupted while doing Ganyu's charged attack, even without Xiangling reapplying Pyro. Team role: Nahida, Sub-DPS, Buffer. Zhongli, Support, Shielder, Debuffer, Buffer. Ganyu, main DPS, Reverse Melt Trigger. Xiangling, Sub-DPS, Pyro Enabler, Buffer. Nahida plus Sanganamiya Kokomi plus Dendro MC plus Raiden Shogun. This Nahida team comp in Genshin Impact focuses on triggering Hyperbloom. Nahida, Kokomi, and Dendro MC will create the Dendro cores, while Raiden Shogun will be the one triggering them. In this team, players can use Raiden and Kokomi to act as the main DPS. Players can change either Kokomi or Dendro MC for Zinkyu, while Raiden Shogun can be replaced by Beidou. However, keep in mind that Beidou isn't very good at triggering Hyper Bloom, so the team will end up as a mixture of Electro-charged and Quicken along with Hyper Bloom. Team role: Nahida, Sub-DPS, Buffer; Sanganamiya Kokomi, Healer, Hydro Enabler; Dendro MC, Sub-DPS, Debuffer; Raiden Shogun, Hyper Bloom Trigger; Nahida plus Sanganamiya Kokomi plus Dendro MC plus Toma. Meanwhile, this Nahida team comp will play around with the Burgeon reaction. Like the Hyper Bloom one, Nahida, Kokomi, and Dendro MC will produce the Dendro cores. Meanwhile, Toma will trigger the Burgeon. Toma's poor pyro application comes perfectly in this team as he can hardly mess up the reactions. Some things to note are that Toma will need sufficient energy recharge to perform correctly, especially at lower constellations. Toma's Pyro DMG also only triggers when a character uses normal attack, so travelers should use Kokomi after using Toma's burst. Team role: Nahida, Sub-DPS, Buffer; Sanganamiya Kokomi, Healer, Hydro Enabler; Dendro MC, Sub-DPS, Debuffer; Toma, Burgeon Trigger. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.